What's good, fam? I thought I'd make a little video about. I'm sitting here watching the news, and I just wanted to give a little commentary on this and possibly find out what you guys think about it. But apparently, in Florida, of the where the school shooting is, what happened and occurred, a deputy that worked for the department could have did something about it in January the 5th. He came out today. He said he knew something about it. He didn't necessarily do anything. And then on top of all of that, the actual day of the shooting, his superior states that surveillance footage has recorded him standing outside of Building 12. He took up a tactical position so he can enter the building to aid people and intercept the shooter. But what happened was he never entered the building. He took a position. He never entered the building. The tape came out, so his superior did a press conference. And of course, the man in question has resigned. Now, it's no surprise to me that something like this could happen. Also, they said that there was a 20-minute delay or 12 to 20-minute delay, I believe, within the recording footage. And they went on to talk their little points, and then they said they believe that didn't determine wouldn't have determined the outcome. But also, they said that delay had misled them in information-wise in order to how to handle this type of thing. Now, my take on this type of thing is this. This is a sheriff that was trained for these type of urban situations, hostage situations, maybe shootings and negotiations and all that type of thing. Because when you're in law enforcement, anybody knows that you got to take much training to do this type of thing. And this particular sheriff apparently was scared to go up in there. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the next report after that was that Trump had came out and said, well, they did negotiations with the NRA, and he agreed to the NRA that they were not going to do a required nationwide background check for weapons and not banning the weapons, but also you want to arm teachers. So my question to that is this. If you have a trained law official and something happened like that and they're spooked to go up in there, what do you think some of those teachers might do? And also the president went on to say that people with the right aptitude, he felt like they could be armed to help protect the people or whatever. If something goes down, if they had the right aptitude, whatever, I guess being smart enough. A lot of us don't, that's a loaded statement in itself. Anybody that subscribed to that type of stuff, they're just as crazy as he is, because a lot of these teachers out here, they're not mentally stable themselves with the molesting of children and such and things of this nature. But that is just something really to think about. Wow. A police officer called to the scene to help and protect and serve, and he did not go in the building. Whether that was the exact building or not, I'm not quite too sure about. That, to me, is like in a form of, that should be considered like a form of treason. In law enforcement, I believe it could be called dereliction of duty. If it was me, he wouldn't be able to get any type of pension or paid leave for doing that. Because even if he could have saved one life, it would have been better than what you had on hand. Now, I understand some people may say, well, it's majority of white folks or non-black people, and I understand that, and I follow you on that. And I don't agree with black children in other states walking out of the classrooms because of what happened down there. Because when, like Sandy Hook, for example, you didn't get all of this. Just last week, a cop in Chicago was killed downtown, high-ranking official. And they had a full escort all the way to the hospital, blocked the highway, everything. When they brought the man in custody in the county jail, the guys in the holding cells were clapping. So now what's happening to some of those guys, they haven't been processed or charged yet, but the prosecutors is trying to bring those up on charges for clapping that because I guess they figured they was applauding the man that killed the cop. It's very funny how these things, how it's good on one end for cops, and then on the other end, it's not good for someone else to feel a certain way towards law enforcement. Now, I'm not saying all police officers are bad. We know they're not. But constantly, week after week, day after day, month after month, for years upon years upon years, we see this all the time, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And as far as giving the NRA a deal about not doing a national background check for people wanting to buy automatic weapons, this is one of the reasons why we're in the position that we are. Now, of course, this is not going to stop people from killing each other in the street. You're always going to have gangsterism. You're always going to have hustlers. You're always going to have the black market. And you're never going to stop the selling of guns, dope, or anything on the street. You're not going to be able to stop guns because you can't even stop dope from being sold on the streets. But you can contain it because anybody that's been living in this country long enough knows that in certain places and areas, you can get dope and guns. This is the reason why you have people leaving from maybe suburbs or rural areas coming into inner cities. And then in other cities, the inner cities are gentrified and they push them out on the outskirts. So you have maybe some people from ethnic groups leaving the inner cities, going to the outskirts. Here in my parts, that's how they have it in certain parts. You can do it either way. But if you're the type of person that want to go and get some criminal tools or something, and it's like on the outskirts, you're good as caught. You may go a few times, but eventually they're going to get you and they're going to nail you. I just think that it's just a shame that we have this type of person trying to call themselves uphold the law. And this is just one instance that we know about. One would have to question the man in charge, his superior. And how many other times has not just this particular officer, but any other officer on that force or in that department or precinct or however it's set up down there, how many other times could they have helped someone and left them out to dry? Just a little something to think about. If you like, leave your comment down below. I'll reply or whatnot. But For all those who watch, tell me what you think. And always, despite all of it, be the goal that you want to hold. Deuces.